Misclassified. Chapter 1. Tuesday night. The funeral. I lead the solemn procession to the graveyard in the back corner by the empty house next door. As I'm now 13, Mom says I can take charge, which has my hands shaking a little. I need to get this right. Funerals are important. My hands are empty, except for the small shovel I carry for the job ahead. I grip the handle tight so the shaking won't make me drop it. Here lies Vlad the dwarf hamster, Dobbin the hermit crab, and the ashes of our dog Benny. I say soberly while we walk. Benny ran out the front door when I was 5 and got hit by a car. I remember taking naps on his stomach and curling my fingers in his soft fur to fall asleep. And I remember how his funeral made me happy and sad at the same time. Like my heart was broken, but the funeral taped it together so it could heal. I want Mason and Sarah to feel that. Now we'll add Lester the lizard. Mason walks slowly behind me. I hear him sniffling, which is expected. It was his lizard. Sarah is behind him, jumping on the few dead leaves on the ground. It's only September, so the crunch isn't loud. When we reach the graveyard, I move to the side so Mason and Sarah can stand by me. He needs a coffin, Mason says through his sniffles. He holds Lester out in front of him in his cupped hands. Lester isn't a very big lizard, but at 6, Mason's hands aren't very big either, and Lester's tail sticks out over the end of Mason's hands. Sarah runs back to the walnut tree and grabs 2 giant leaves from the ground. She's only 4, but a fast thinker. "We can make him a bed," she says. Mason nods. I grab 1 leaf from Sarah, lay it on the ground, and take Lester. He feels cool and rough. I rub my fingers over his bumpy back for the last time and set him down on the leaf. It's lucky Lester died nice and straight, so he fit well. I don't think Mason would be happy if Lester were hanging off the side of the leaf. I take the other leaf and fold down the first few inches, ripping off the top part. This makes a nice blanket. I drop the little broken part and we watch it flutter to the ground. Sarah picks it up. "This can be his pillow." She slips it under Lester's head. "He looks like he's sleeping." Mason nods again, takes the shovel from me, and starts digging. Getting ready for bed, I notice a light zipping around outside my window. I look out and see Dad and with his arm around Mason by the graveyard. Mason's shoulders are slumped and his hand comes up and wipes his face. I think about running down there to be with them, but it looks so peaceful I don't want to disturb things. I step to the door of my room where my backpack is sitting, pull Polly, my Polaroid camera, from her pocket, and slip back to the window. Mason bends down and puts something by the grave. Dad shines his flashlight on it, and I can see that it's a grave marker made from popsicle sticks. Mason walks away a few steps, but Dad bends down, sets the flashlight by the marker, and moves the marker around until he seems happy with where it is. Dad will want it to be perfect, like everything else he does. He picks up the flashlight, takes Mason's hand, and they walk back to the house. Before they can get far, I pull Polly up to see what she thinks, but I can tell it's too dark, even with the flashlight, to get a very good picture. I'll have to freeze frame this in my mind to remember it forever. I yawn, and as I put Polly away, and notice my math book open with a blank sheet of paper and a number 2 pencil next to it where I left it before the funeral. I yawn again. I think Miss Carter should accept a funeral as an excuse for not getting my math homework done.